This is a story of a couple who wed each other after the death of their first spouse. A story of a supportive family, and a story of two nieces who are full of lies, deception, and greed. Kathleen Monahan and LouAnn Roarth are the nieces of Emma Ackerman.
Later on in this documentary, you will see how Kathy and LouAnn, with other family members after over 15 years, come back into Emma's life and create a living hell for Daryl and D-Miron. For God's sake, what happened to Emma? On September 7th, 1997, Emma Graziani and Peter Ackerman were married in Peter's backyard. It was a simple ceremony. Emma and Peter moved into the first-floor apartment, and Denise and Daryl lived upstairs with their 3 children, Derek, Travis, and Kelly. Soon after, Daryl made some alterations to the first-floor apartment, like extending the study into a larger master bedroom, new windows, and a new kitchen. And in the year 2000, Daryl designed and built a beautiful custom gazebo for Emma and Peter. From the day of their wedding, Emma became a part of the Ackerman family.
As Emma and Peter started a new life together, they shared every Christmas, Thanksgiving, and many other holidays like Father's Day and Mother's Day with the Ackerman and Miron families. Emma celebrated every new great-grandchild as if they were her own. Emma never had any children. All the kids called her Grandma, and she loved it. Peter and Emma traveled a lot. They even drove across the country a couple of times. They bought a house in Deltona, Florida as a winter retreat. Every year, they would wait until after Christmas Day to enjoy with the families, and then would drive down to Florida for the winter months.
In 2013, Peter was diagnosed with dementia. Denise and Daryl both ready to provide support to Peter and Emma during these difficult times. They didn't want to see Peter suffer and the full burden on Emma. Since they lived upstairs, they were always ready 24/7. As they knew Peter would someday succumb to the disease, Emma thought he would get better.
Control me.
Pick it up. Right around the park. Right around the park.
I lost it. I lost it.
What happened?
He came off.
Came off what?
I'm a fishing boat right now.
Say hi, Daddy.
Huh? But Mom,
Say hi, Daddy.
They have a
Fishing.
good time fishing.
I don't want to.
D-Miron, and this is my story. After the death of my wife's father, Peter Ackerman, on October 29, 2018, it was time for emotional healing, trying to live a normal life again. My wife Denise and I spent the last 5 years devoted to my father-in-law. The first Christmas after Peter's death, we celebrated the holidays together at home with Emma, my wife, and my daughter. We were still a family supportive of each other. Emma continued to live in the first-floor apartment. Emma lived in Farmingdale before coming into our lives and had family in the Patchogue and Medford areas. Emma lived with us for over 20 years, which wasn't about to change anytime soon. Rarely did I see anyone from Emma's family come to visit her, and definitely not her two nieces, Kathleen and LouAnn. Just like every Christmas, we spent the next 3 Christmases together as one family. Emma's family continued to be non-existent. When Peter Ackerman passed away, Denise contacted Kathleen Monahan and LouAnn Roth to come to support their Aunt Emma during the services for Peter. I have no memory of Kathleen or LouAnn, but I was told they were at the funeral parlor. Soon after, at Emma's request, Denise and Kathleen Monahan became Emma's health proxy and power of attorney. After the services, and as far as I know, Emma's nieces never visited her at home for another 3 years. On October 21, 2021, Emma was admitted to the hospital for 1 week for pneumonia and then rehab for 1 week. When Emma came home, Denise hired a physical therapist 2 days a week and a cleaning service once every 3 weeks to help. It was after Emma's stay in the hospital I noticed she showed signs of forgetfulness and struggling to do simple things. Several times she would ask me to come down to help her. She would forget how to turn off her TV with the remote. Quite often she would struggle to remove her keys from the car because she forgot to put the car in park or forget how to open the hatchback of her car. Emma would forget how to drive to a local store and would need detailed instructions. Numerous times I had to reset her thermostat after she changed the setting, and it would get too warm or too cold in her apartment. When I would tell Emma how to do certain things like setting the thermostat or simple chores, she would become confused. My wife and I discussed these observations. We were always kind to Emma and there to help her. Emma was giving Denise a hard time about the aid and cleaning service she hired and felt she didn't need it. Denise was helping Emma with grocery shopping, medications, doctor appointments, and house cleaning when it got really bad. Denise called Kathy Monahan and asked her to talk to Emma about keeping the aid and cleaning service. It was becoming too much for Denise to work and continue caring for Emma's needs.
What you are about to see is surveillance and phone video around Denise and Daryl's home. You will see Kathleen Monahan and LouAnn Roth with other family members going through their mailbox and what looks to be secretively removing financial documents. You will also hear audio recordings of moments confronting Kathleen and LouAnn and what it looks like their intentions are. Everything Daryl says is his opinion and thoughts. As the viewer, you will need to come up with your own conclusion. What you are about to see and hear will help you make an informed opinion.
Kathleen came over to discuss with Denise and Emma about the aid and cleaning service and how it would benefit Emma. Denise was sure Kathleen would be of help, but instead Kathleen said Emma can do whatever the she wants to do. Soon after, the aid and cleaning service were terminated.
It is now time to get to know LouAnn Roth and Kathleen Monahan a little better.
I really don't know LouAnn very well other than she does some landscaping, so I will go by my experiences with her. She is not too bright and she should think before she speaks. I also suspect her of insurance fraud. Around June 2022, LouAnn had a car accident, injured her left arm, and wore a cast. From what I know now about LouAnn, I can believe there is an ongoing lawsuit. A few days after this video, I asked LouAnn about her arm and how it was healing. Here is the audio recording of that conversation.
I see you have your cast. You broke your arm, huh? How's that doing?
Not great.
No?
My aunt
well, you're able to carry things, right? I mean, I have videos of you carrying these big, heavy bottles of water. I'm just wondering, how's your arm doing?
$10,000. Well, I don't think that's any of your business, and I don't.
Oh, well, when you step into this house
here's
now,
the deal.
when you step, no, I'm talking. When you step into this house, it is my business, okay? It is my business.
Later in this video, we will see more of LouAnn and who she really is. Kathleen has very impressive credentials, but it is those same credentials that could cause a lot of harm if used in a nefarious manner. Later in this video, we will take a very close look at this using research provided by distinguished organizations like American Society of Clinical Hypnosis, Society for Clinical and Experimental Hypnosis, and American Psychological Association.
Can we say huge ego? She spends half the class talking about personal life and what a wonderful clinician she is. Maybe she's a good clinician, but her skills as a professor are lacking. Never responds to emails, calls.
Talk about narcissistic personality disorder. Also very inconsiderate and rude. Never returns calls. Feels she is above that.
She spoke of her personal life too much for her liking. She was very rude and demanding at times in class.
Jack of all trades, master at none. Keep your day job. Rambles on and on about personal life. Shut up already. Too hoity-toity/rude. Snaps when least expected. Won't return calls. So-called family violence expert with little to say. In the real world, not SUNY playland, she would be demoted or worse. However, her unprofessional, condescending, and rotten personality thrived to the dismay of us all.
As the warmer months of 2022 arrived, Kathleen and LouAnn started to come over more frequently to see Emma. They tried to push Denise out of Emma's life and began to get more involved in Emma's needs. Denise was hearing comments about herself that weren't true, and they ignored Denise's phone calls. They were just making things worse for everyone in the home.
Denise and I were still very much involved with Emma and her day-to-day existence in the home. When Kathleen or LouAnn came by, they tried to avoid my wife and me. When Denise tried to talk to Kathleen or LouAnn, they were very rude and talked in a condescending way toward my wife. There was no reason for them to talk to my wife in that manner. At first, I tried to stay out of it until I started to get suspicious about their motives. On July 18th, we went to Alabama for our granddaughter's first birthday. We had to rely on our cameras to monitor our home. We didn't trust Kathleen or LouAnn and asked our good neighbor George to look after things while we were away. We came back on July 25th. On July 20th, Emma lost her balance on the front lawn and couldn't get up by herself. My neighbor George heard Emma yelling, "Help, help," and came right over to see. After getting her up into a chair and with help from a passerby, they were able to get Emma safely into her apartment. I don't think LouAnn can control herself from lying. Here is just another example of how despicable I believe she is. Here is a recording of her belittling my daughter Kelly, who she doesn't even know.
My aunt fell on her face on July 20th. Kelly Ann on Saturday went to a party next door and didn't even bother to show up to say, "How are you?" So
let's make one thing clear, LouAnn. There was no party next door that day or any day that week, including Saturday. So are you lying or just plain stupid? Where were you for the 20-plus years of Emma and Peter's life together?
Oh, good, good. All right, so your nephew's coming over, you said? Out-of-town relatives come by to check on Emma and take her out for unknown reasons.
When they come back, the fellow goes to check the mailbox. Nothing unusual there, right? Now the next clip, watch the body language and hand gestures. As the couple is leaving, the fellow walks toward the front door to recheck the mail, and after a second thought, he's like, "No, I don't want to do this." The woman agrees. They can sense or know something is wrong here and just go on their way. Soon you will see brazen others who have no problem violating our rights and privacy. The very next day, Kathleen Monahan is waiting in her car for the mailman. As he walks up to our porch, Kathleen jumps out of the car and intercepts him to retrieve our mail. She does not attempt to sort the mail and put our mail in our mailbox where it belongs. And here we are the next day, again July 22nd. We have LouAnn walking up to the mailbox. She takes her time to view every piece of mail. Also, it looks like they are leaving the premises as they wait at the bottom of the driveway. Very suspicious, I would say.
There is a federal law that makes it a crime for anyone to access a mailbox except for an official postal service employee or the owner of the mailbox. Anyone else who opens the box or puts anything inside of it is a criminal act.
Now it is LouAnn's husband Kevin Roth's turn to violate our rights and privacy by going into our mailbox.
It says you're the grand prize winner of a sweepstakes, $5 million.
After a week with our granddaughter, we will arrive home later this night. Looking at this video, we can already see the transformation of Emma in a zombie-like state and walking with a broom. I'm not sure why she is holding the broom, but you will see more of this behavior. Here we are arriving home, hoping that everything is how we left it. It's been a whole week since our cameras captured any visits from the nieces. This clip was shown early in the documentary of LouAnn carrying water with her left arm in a cast on August 1st.
I'm just going to put them here, and then I'll put them all in the
There isn't any video of LouAnn bringing groceries on August 1st, just bottled water for the dog. After dropping off the water, LouAnn seems hurried to leave. As LouAnn walks up to her car, she notices Emma following behind her. Why is she in such a hurry? Is it because she knew the shit was about to hit the fan?
A few days later, Denise received a letter from Kathy stating Denise no longer had power of attorney for Emma.
Dear Denise, please be advised that the power of attorney and the healthcare proxy have been changed. I have attached the notice of revocation for prior existing power of attorney to this form.
Denise's power of attorney was revoked on March 24th, 2022, and Denise wasn't notified until early August. Of course, this is a huge red flag. Denise immediately contacts the Adult Protective Services. It was like the mail was coming to the front door and going out the back. On October 2nd, we can see Emma and LouAnn walking out the back with LouAnn carrying a large envelope. On August 3rd, around 9 a.m., Kathleen and LouAnn was downstairs with Emma, so I went downstairs to see what they were up to. I had my audio recorder with me. As I try to walk into the kitchen, LouAnn tries to stop me with her arms out. Once I was able to go into the kitchen, I see Kathleen and Emma standing side by side in the bathroom with a good amount of papers resting on the vanity. Emma had a pen in her hand. LouAnn was still trying to block me from getting any closer.
I come down to visit my mother-in-law. Yes, I am. Emma? Where's Emma? I'm going to ask Emma if I can talk to her. Where is she?
I'm asking you to leave. This is my aunt's residence.
Yeah. Emma? I want to check for the mice traps, all right?
Okay.
All right, thank you. you're ridiculous. You know that?
It's so funny, but I feel the same way about you. This is my aunt's residence.
You know what?
And you can't harass her like this.
I'm not harassing her. I'm checking for the mice traps. And I have to go in the kitchen. Seriously.
Okay.
I have to go underneath the refrigerator. You want to come down there with me?
No, I want you to leave.
Why? Because you're up to no good, right? It's obvious. It's obvious that you're up to no good. So obvious. And you know what? You're messing with the wrong person right now.
So I heard.
Just so you know.
So I heard.
Because I ain't stupid. All right, we're good. Emma, are you okay? Emma, are you okay?
Yeah. Ladies, could you close the door because Daryl won't leave?
Emma, are you okay?
She's okay.
Emma, are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we're being harassed by a man at 31 Colby Drive. He won't leave my aunt's residence, even though he's been asked a numerous amount of times. Kings Park.
Before the police would arrive, Emma left with Kathleen and LouAnn at 9:38 a.m. I think Kathleen and LouAnn are getting more paranoid now.
You're gonna write something down.
I'm just gonna write that the party that called is not no longer here. That's really
All right. And thank you very much for your time.
all right.
Stay cool, man. It's gonna be hot. You want a nice ice water?
Nah, good. I'm loaded in the car.
Good, that's good.
This is the same day, August 3rd at 2:44 p.m. They brought a couple of family members for support. At this point, we felt like we were under siege from all directions. And here we are again, the very next day, August 4th. Note time of day, 2:20 p.m. In 10 minutes, they will be coming out. Did they bring something, or are they taking something? I don't think the two of them would stop over for a 10-minute lunch, fair to say, right? Now watch this next clip carefully. Do you see anything suspicious? I see three things that are suspicious. Stop the video. 1. Where is Kathleen's pocketbook? 2. Is she hiding something under her dress? 3. Watch the next video clip.
What, right?
Do you see a hand close to her belly at all times?
Yeah, she goes in the weeds.
Oh, all right.
Okay, run this clip back to the beginning.
I'll play it tomorrow.
Now watch her hands as she carefully holds something under her dress. Did Kathleen really forget her pocketbook?
She runs it.
Yeah, she goes in the weeds.
Oh, all right.
Now she comes back for her pocketbook, and when she comes out, watch how she carries it as if it has more weight than before.
Yeah, it's very hot out.
As she walks down the sidewalk, you can see her balance is now left of center to compensate for the heavier pocketbook. On the left side, you can see Kathleen is showing more exertion carrying the pocketbook. I don't know what to make of these clips, but something looks wrong. On August 19th, Elma from APS reviewed the clips with me and agrees that Kathleen is carrying something under her dress.
You watch how she comes out and she's holding something under her dress. When I talked to Emma about that, Emma says, oh, that's just paperwork for you guys. That's for you guys. And so why is she carrying it under her dress? Mm-hmm. Right? So we go to that. She comes out and see her hand. Now watch. Now she switches to the other hand. She's got to hold it. She's holding it. And then she goes to that one. And there's something under there.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Now, who's that?
That's another, I think that's Kathy's husband. I'm not sure. But, I mean, there's...
After reviewing the video clips, we knew it was past time to have a meeting with Kathleen, LouAnn, and Emma. We demanded answers to our questions. My wife Denise knew they were taking financial documents out of the house and had concerns about their intentions. Because of their actions and behavior, we did not trust them. Kathleen agreed to have a meeting, but it never happened. Denise decided to have a conversation with Emma about the meeting and other concerns.
Well, what did she say? Did you ask them about a meeting between us, or having,
No, I did ask her. She said, yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, well, when do they want to do this? Because I'm not waiting forever, because I'm not going to have them take advantage of you, and then you have no recourse when they decide that they're going to do something, and then it's too late, because by then they can empty out your bank accounts, just so you know.
Yeah.
Because they have access now, they can have emptied your bank accounts by now. Just so you know. You think that they might not, Emma? It happens every day. You think they don't? Guess what? Why are they being so sneaky? Why did they not involving everybody? If they were not so sneaky, they would have talked to me and Darryl before they did all of this. Okay? They would have talked to my brother. Okay? They're trying to get us all uninvolved, okay? And they, you know what, when I said to her, all I asked her was for a little help, help you maybe do a little shopping, do a little this. She said, oh, no, my aunt doesn't need any help with anything. So you know what? They're trying to get you to sign everything, and then this is what, you think they're not scamming you. But you think they're not, Emma. But you know something? I promised my father that I would watch out for what happened with you. I promised him that, okay? And so I'm going to call who I said I'm going to call and let them get involved, because Kathy wants to just play a game with me and say, just send me a text and then send me papers that out of nowhere and change all your financial shit to go to their house and change your mailing address. That's baloney. That's baloney. That all your money, everything, my father's stock stuff that he has, all going to their house. All his stock stuff that you have, it's yours, and it's yours for you, for you to survive on, and for you to, like, if you need anything, like say you need a couch, or you need furniture, you need to live, okay? That's all yours. But when you pass away, that should go to his children and to his grandchildren. Not to those people who came into they've been in your life all your life. But guess what? They never came to Dad's funeral. And you know what, in the 26 years that I was around with you and Dad.
On August 11th, Kathleen is walking up the driveway carrying what appears to be books or documents. 24 minutes later, Kathleen is leaving. Not a very long stay by any means. It was at this time Denise and I decided to look back to video clips prior to April 1st. We were able to find 2 clips, one from March 24th and one on the 25th. Now watch LouAnn as she is carrying a yellow bag of contents. Kathleen and Emma are close behind. At the very end of this clip, you can see into the yellow bag. My wife identified the green box inside. It is where Emma keeps all her financial documents and important papers. The very next day, Kathleen and Emma are going out. We can see Kathleen is carrying a blue folder. Could be anything, right? Nothing to hide. Now watch closely. They have a short conversation and decide to put the blue folder into Kathleen's bag. What we have here is very suspicious behavior.
How did she know? Yes, she was.
Oh. You know why?
She knows every time I go to the store.
I was able to enhance some of their conversation, and I think it's pretty revealing.
Should have put that in. She should have. No, how did she know? Yes, they should. Oh! You know why? She bought stuff. She knows everything they get at the store.
You can take away whatever you want from this short clip with a broken conversation. What I see and hear is a manipulative Kathleen Monahan guiding an elderly aunt for personal gain. I don't have to hear every word to know what she is up to. You can decide for yourself. Now let us review the April 1st video clip. As LouAnn, Emma, and Kathleen walk down the driveway, I see LouAnn veer off to the left as Emma stays close to Kathleen, kind of like Kathleen has something of value to Emma in her bag. Kathleen opens her trunk, throws something inside the trunk, and closes it as LouAnn watches intently. This looks like an odd moment of concern for LouAnn and Emma. All I know is there are only two things you lock in a trunk, and that's something of value or a dead body. Are these the same documents Kathleen returned on August 11th?
What is the plan, Emma, for your well-being and health?
I don't even think of it.
You don't even and they don't think of it either, I guess.
They probably do, but they haven't said anything to me.
Well, because, they created a hostile environment here by taking Denise off the power of attorney without discussing it. I'm talking about the part where open dialogue and open conversation, that they created a very terrible atmosphere in this house. And they have. They put a lot of stress on you. They put a lot of stress on Denise, and I had to deal with all this stress that has been developed by the actions of what's going on. Right? There's no argument there, is there, Emma? It's true that by doing it without discussing it was the wrong thing to do. Okay?
Well, it's your wife.
No, they didn't take her off because of my wife. They took her off because they have other goals.
I took her off.
Okay.
I took her off. It had nothing to do with it.
Okay, so let's not argue about that point. My point coming down here is what is their plans? Okay, here we go. Kathy, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I understand that you're doing a lot of her financing and you're taking control of a lot of things with her. I understand all that, okay? And I understand it's not my business. I understand all that. But my concern is, do you have any long-term goals for the care of Emma?
Do you have anything to say to me about your behavior the other day?
What behavior was that?
Screaming and yelling.
Oh! I have it recorded. Oh no, I'm sorry. I have it recorded. It's there is no.
Daryl.
Don't play this game.
Then go away.
No, I'm not going away. No, I'm not going away.
If he doesn't go away, I'm gonna go away.
See, Emma? See what they're doing to you, Emma? You see what they're doing? Your finances. You're here with the finances.
I'm here to visit my aunt.
What is your plan?
Meal.
What is your long-term plans with Emma? I'm not yelling.
Go away.
What is your long-term plans? Emma, you see what she's doing, Emma? I just want to talk to you about your they have only one goal. They don't care about you long-term. They don't. They don't care about your care. They're caring about your finances. Emma, I care about you, Emma. All right?
You may, but your wife doesn't.
Well, she's not here. I'm not representing her right now. I'm representing your care.
I'm representing her.
Yeah. Well, so yes, really, so you have no answer. Is that official? Because I'm recording right now also, just so you know. You have no answer to what your plans are in the care of Emma. Am I right? Am I right? Okay, thank you. I understand. That answer means no. Right? No.
Whatever you
Yeah.
want it to mean to him.
No, it's not what it means to me. It means what it means to.
Go away. I'm
It's what it means.
visiting my aunt.
What it means
I'm
to others.
visiting my aunt.
Okay.
You are harassing me now.
No, I'm not.
Go away.
No, I'm not. Why are you yelling at me for?
Go away.
Why are you yelling at me?
You're intrusive.
Are you going to attack me?
You're
You're standing up now like you're going to attack me.
This is what he did to me the other day.
I didn't even see you the other day.
He's implying that I'm trying to hurt you.
I didn't
and he's
see you the other
trying to
day.
tape it to make it sound
Emma,
like I'm trying
Emma,
to hurt
I
you.
didn't.
I asked you nicely to leave.
You don't live here. And if I want to check you,
I'm visiting
I have a right to come
my
down
aunt.
here. I just want you to know, I have
You
a right
don't
to come
live
down.
here either.
Okay, because that's the electrical panel right there. Sometimes I need to go to the electrical panel. She has traps down here. I checked them already once today. So I have a right to come
time
in.
I'm trying to
Emma,
visit my aunt
Emma,
and have
Emma,
lunch.
they don't
Go
care
away.
about your well-being. They don't care. There's no answer. There's no answer to my question. No, what's going to happen when she needs help?
I don't think you have the brain power to figure that out.
Well, you hurt my feelings so bad. You know, this is not my
Go
first
away,
rodeo,
Gerald.
honey. And I'm
I don't need
undefeated.
this shit.
Bye.
I don't need
Bye.
this.
Emma, they don't care about you, Emma. They don't. They don't. They don't care. I know what they want.
Let's review 2 comments that Kathleen said. First, all I had was one question: what is their long-term plan for Emma's care? And Kathleen says to Emma, he's implying that I'm trying to hurt you, and he's trying to tape it to make it sound like I'm trying to hurt you. Kathleen sounded like a therapist practicing a little psychotherapy on Emma. On the second comment, Kathleen says to me, I don't think you have the brain power to figure that out. Was that a diss to me, or does she think her plan is so ingenious and diabolical I can't even fathom the thought of it? Every time I confront Kathleen or LouAnn, they don't deny or confirm their intentions. One has to remember, Kathleen Monahan is an Associate Professor Director of the Family Violence Education and Research Center. Have you ever wondered what the letters after a doctor's name mean? The letters themselves are called postnomials. Postnomials indicate education qualifications, the title of office, decoration, or honor.
DSW stands for Doctorate of Social Work. LCSW stands for Licensed Clinical Social Worker. LMFT stands for Licensed Marriage and Family Therapist.
Thank you, Antoni. Let's take a look. LMFT, Licensed Marriage and Family Therapist.
A licensed marriage and family therapist, LMFT, is a certified healthcare professional who has typically graduated with a master's LMFT degree in counseling. Marriage and family therapists are trained to help families and couples identify and treat personal and interpersonal problems, including depression, parent-child conflicts, drug and alcohol abuse, anxiety, and more. LMFTs diagnose and identify the causes of strains in relationships and then apply psychotherapeutic techniques to counsel and offer solutions to clients.
Kathleen and LouAnn have caused so much stress in our family life. I find it hard to believe Kathleen has qualified in any type of therapy, especially something as powerful as psychotherapy. She has shown nothing in the way a therapist would and should act. There were a few times they accused us of causing stress to their family, and I was like, are you kidding me? I guess that was just a cookie-cutter talking point you would say to a mediator or a judge. It is now August 12th, the day after Kathleen was walking up the driveway carrying books or documents. On some days, Emma was not herself. A few times I asked Emma if she was okay, and she would say yes, but I didn't think so. For a while I had some suspicion that she was being drugged. She certainly wasn't herself. As Emma backs down the driveway, it seems she is having some difficulty. As she makes her way into the road, you can hear the engine revving up. I would like to point out I did not see these clips until days or weeks after. Emma made it home safely, bringing groceries into the house. I don't think I have one video clip of the nieces doing the same. Here is a representative from Adult Protection Services. She was unsuccessful in making contact with someone at the house. How the hell can someone like Kathleen Monahan come into our life and cause so much stress to our family? Even our neighbors couldn't believe what was happening day after day. But what really gets me is, here we have a professor and highly educated director of the Family Violence Education and Research Center who decided not to practice her profession, but to instead destroy the very fabric of a family that she ignored for almost 2 decades. Her lies tie together like link sausage one after another. I watch Emma change from someone who was not just family, but a friend to become a shadow of herself zombie. I watched Emma at an age of needing assistance, and Kathleen and LouAnn come in to tear everything apart. They may think the end justifies the means, but it doesn't. Kathleen's profession is to help families. Well, she failed miserably. I think she is a narcissist and should be charged with malpractice or worse. On Friday, August 19th, as I do every morning, I was bringing my dog into the fenced-in area where our dogs play and do their business. I wasn't feeling good that morning. Emma was standing behind her screen door, and we didn't have our usual morning greetings. As I walk back to the deck stairs, Emma gives me the middle finger. There was no reason for Emma to do that. Did Kathleen turn Emma against my wife and me completely now? There is nothing my wife or I have done to deserve this. When I saw this video clip, I was saddened for Emma and angry for what was happening to her. She was not acting normal. This is not Emma I know. You can see me stumble up the stairs, just not a good morning for me. On the same day, August 19th, Elma from the Adult Protective Services showed up and met with Kathleen. Afterward, Elma asked me about the cameras Kathleen said I had downstairs in Emma's apartment.
For that reason.
Now, you have a camera downstairs.
No, we don't.
No,
that's a glass break.
We have 2 systems for our home. We have Ring surveillance cameras outside and Simply Safe 24/7's whole home protection system inside. The Simply Safe system includes alarms for doors, windows, smoke, water, and glass break sensors. In the back of the house that are windows very low to the ground and are the most vulnerable. There are sensors on those windows when they are opened and the glass break sensors for added protection. We have 2 glass break sensors downstairs. In the left picture, you can see how they covered them with paper towels. This is not how innocent people would act.
Glass break sensor.
Yep, that's
like
what
that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Same day, August 19th. Kathleen and Emma are going out for light shopping. It seems Emma has lost some pep in her step and needs assistance now. In the April 1st video, we don't see this. Are they wearing her down? My wife Denise and I have much concern for Emma. As you will see, it gets worse, much worse. Kathleen and Emma return home with a small bag. Again, look at Emma. It's like she has become a zombie. At first I thought Emma was being drugged, but now I am having second thoughts about that. On September 2nd, LouAnn is prowling around the house. What is she looking for? It has now been over 6 months since we have been invaded by these 2 women. Again, how can they say we have created a lot of stress on their family? Did we go to their house and remove financial documents without explanation? Did we ignore their questions of concern? Did we tamper with their alarm system? Did 4 of our family members freely go into their mailbox time after time? Did we spread lies about them? 7th, Emma and LouAnn walk up the driveway after some light shopping and stop just before the garage doors. Emma reaches into her pocketbook and hands LouAnn a group of house keys. Note the time when LouAnn walks toward the garage door. 3 hours, 54 minutes, and 50 seconds. The incident lasted 58 seconds. The video clip is 6 minutes and 10 seconds long. At this time, I will run the incident 3 times. The first time will be unedited and with no narration. The second time, LouAnn will narrate the incident. Pay close attention to her version. On the third time, I will break it down, making many points along the way. I think this will clear up any doubt about who we are dealing with. If you are observant enough, people usually tell on themselves.
This video is to make 2 points. 1. Is to show that Denise did not attack her stepmom Emma. And 2. This video will show LouAnn Roth twisting the truth without giving witness to the facts. We will see this as LouAnn narrates her views of a 58-second clip. LouAnn Roth and Emma are bringing food into the house through the garage.
Denise and I do not want LouAnn or Kathleen going into our garage, and for good reason. Any time they step foot on the property is a time of concern because they cannot be trusted.
LouAnn Roth and Emma continue through the garage into the foyer. Denise closes the garage door as LouAnn Roth and Emma enter the home.
Denise told me the interior garage door leading into the rear foyer was already opened when she closed the garage door. It was exactly 3 minutes from when LouAnn stepped toward the garage door and when Denise closed it. Plenty of time to walk 20 feet and unlock the interior door. It is clear from the video LouAnn had the keys and never was locked inside the garage.
LouAnn Roth told the police that Denise locked them in the garage. She has been through that entrance many times and knew she wasn't locked in the garage. They will soon come out through the back door.
You want to bring the bundles and you bring them around, LouAnn. You do not go in the garage, okay? Because you leave it. Don't dare come after me, Emma. Don't let your hands off of me, Emma. You don't get your hands off of me, Emma. Get your hands off. Record it, Dad. You don't tell me what to do. Look at the eyes on her. Is she taking her diabetic medicine?
Relax.
No, you know she has to take it for 9 days. 9 days. Are you guys paying attention to that? Are you guys paying attention to that, LouAnn?
The law is on you, so you know. The law is on you.
No, I said do not. I said do not go in the garage. Because they don't know how to open it. I was opening it.
You don't
Emma, you couldn't even shut the TV off last night. I know how to open it.
Because she needs help. Okay?
She couldn't even shut the TV off last
You
night.
can't disappear for 5 days. Emma, you need help. Emma, you need help.
Emma, you've had the same clothes on for 9 days. 9 days.
Shut up. Your mom tried to assault my aunt on Wednesday. What happened on Wednesday was that your mother went after her. Whatever your mom wants to say, it's on surveillance, so they can look it up. Your dad, right? Daryl is your dad?
Yep.
Yeah, he stood behind your mother, and my aunt at one point lost her balance and couldn't let go of your mother, and your mother started screaming, Daryl, record this, and then I had to go in between your mother and my 87-year-old aunt. And then your mother proceeded to tell me, blah, 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 and I have it all on audio, so they can deny what they want, they can say whatever they want. What happened on Wednesday was that your mother went after her. Whatever your mom wants to say, it's on surveillance, so they can look it up.
Denise was standing still while Emma continued forward.
And my aunt at one point lost her balance and couldn't let go of your mother, and your mother started screaming, Daryl,
Denise tries to step away.
And then I had to go.
How did LouAnn see Emma lose her balance and close the gate at the same time? The video clearly shows Emma did not lose her balance at all. LouAnn was facing the gate the moment Emma made contact with Denise. Emma grabbed Denise by the wrist while Denise stayed calm.
Don't dare come after me, Emma. Don't let your hands off of me, Emma.
You can hear clanging of the gate latch 0.42 seconds after Emma grabbed Denise.
Record it, Dad.
Daryl is your dad?
Yep.
Yeah, he stood behind your mother, and then your mother proceeded to tell me, blah, 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 and I have it
Errol
all
removes
on
Emma's
audio.
hands from Denise's
They
wrist.
can deny what they want, they can say whatever they want.
Are you guys paying attention to that? Are you guys paying attention to that, LouAnn?
Is LouAnn Roth telling the truth? Did Denise attack Emma? Did you see Emma lose her balance?
You know what, Travis, honey?
Yeah.
Honestly, I know I can feel that you love your grandmother, and I appreciate that. Emma wanted everybody else except for you out of the deal.
Yeah.
She wanted out of the deal, and I'm telling you, I swear to God, whether I'm supposed to say this or not, my aunt wanted everybody out, and we said, Aunt Emma, think about it. These grandchildren didn't do anything to anybody. Please, just give them a little bit.
This next clip is the continuation of the September 7th incident.
Because she needs help, okay?
She couldn't even shut the TV off last night.
You can't disappear for 5 days. Emma, you need help. Emma, you need help.
Emma, you've had the same clothes on for 9 days. 9 days.
Shut up.
9 days, Emma.
Take better care of it. No, because we have it all on, we have it. We have the footage. You guys are doing a terrible job with her. Terrible job.
In a month's time, I've seen such a decline.
You guys are doing a terrible job.
In a month's time.
Terrible job. Disgusting. Pigs. You're a bunch of pigs, you two. Yep, that's what you are. You're pigs.
Originally, I didn't want to show this clip because it was very upsetting to me, but now I think we all can learn something from this. All through the months, Kathleen and LouAnn disparaged Denise. They were ruthless in uttering slanderous and abusive statements against her. In October, Peter Ackerman Jr. filed for the guardianship of Emma Ackerman and temporarily froze all of Emma's accounts. This wasn't a move they were expecting. In return, Kathleen and LouAnn filed for a cross petition. In the cross petition, they used the September 7th incident as vilification for speaking of ill and slandering Denise.
Kathleen Monahan and LouAnn Monahan Roth, being duly sworn as and for their verified cross petition, depose and state the following under penalty of perjury. On one of the recent visits of September 7th, 2022, LouAnn had taken Emma grocery shopping. Upon return to Emma's home, they entered through the garage door. Denise became livid and came out screaming that they are not allowed to use the garage. She then locked the garage door into the house, attempting to lock Emma and LouAnn in the garage. Emma, however, had a key and let herself into her home with her groceries. As Emma and LouAnn went back outside to get more bags from the car, Denise came rushing out and physically jumped on Emma. LouAnn separated them and wanted to call the police, but Emma was afraid to anger Denise and refused to allow LouAnn to get the police involved. LouAnn did, however, report the incident to Adult Protective Services. This can be verified by Elma at Adult Protective Services of Team 36, who can be reached at 631-854-3353 Team 36.
My first response, LouAnn, is, how do you know Denise's intention was to lock you and Emma in the garage? Did Denise say that? It is clear from the video that Emma didn't have the keys. You did. My wife told me the interior door into the apartment was opened when she closed the garage door. You did have almost 3 minutes between your opening the garage door and when Denise closed the door. Plenty of time for you to open the interior door considering you already had the keys. Now let us talk about your statement that Denise jumped Emma. Again, the video clearly shows that not to be true. Also, how can you even make a statement like that, knowingly it's not true because you were facing the gate the moment Emma made contact with Denise? You do know what perjury is, don't you? In the cross petition, it is implied that the only person Emma became angry and combative with is my wife Denise.
It appears that the Ackerman petition is basing its application upon accusations that Emma has become angry and combative. very tellingly only toward petitioner's sister, D-Miron.
Kathy, LouAnn, how could you even know this? It's not like you have been around long enough to know Emma as well as we do. On the contrary, she does have a history of angry outbursts, abusive behavior, and physical violence toward others.
Son of a bitch! I'm gonna kill you! I'm gonna kill you!
Go ahead and call. Okay, go call them.
I don't have to call.
Call them. You know how to do it. You don't need any help.
I'm just asking you to go a little
I
easier.
am doing it easy. Why would I hurt him? Why? Even yesterday when he tried to
you
slap,
go like this.
I have to watch in between there, Emma. It's
And
not like
I've been doing it, and you don't have to.
Okay? But it's like, you can't just say it like that. We're here to help her also. We have to help her. We have to help them. He's a two-person assist. He's not a one-person assist.
I don't need you.
But Joanne will tell you that.
I don't need you.
Emma, are you
I need
kidding
you
me?
to stay with me.
I am staying with you. I am staying
now you
with
need
you.
her to stay
But
with you when you talk so bad about her?
You can't, Emma.
Shut your fucking mouth.
I'm gonna shut my mouth.
Yeah.
You can't, you have to work with each other. This
I'm
is
glad
what,
you're going, you bastard.
Emma, don't speak to her like that. That's not
Shut up. I'll talk the way I want to talk. You don't have to tell me how to talk.
I do have
No,
to.
you don't.
Yes, I do, because
You have no right to tell me when
yes,
to
I
talk.
do. This is my father.
Yeah, and
This
it's
is
my
my
husband.
father.
A husband is more than a father.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is, sweetheart.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Yes,
see
it is.
how
You're giving me
upset?
an argument
I'm
now?
not giving you an argument.
Well, then quiet.
No, I'm not giving you an argument.
Quiet.
But you know
Quiet.
what?
Let
You
me get
can't
the
take
garbage.
care of him by
Quiet.
yourself. There's
Quiet.
no way.
Of course not.
Look at your papers.
Stop
Look
it.
at your
Stop it.
papers. You're an alternate over me.
Stop it. Don't listen to Emma.
I don't need you to give me more aggravation than I have now.
I'm doing nothing but help.
You cannot choke him. She knew. Oh, shut up. I wasn't choking him.
You were telling me you
I
were taking
wasn't
vitamins.
choking him.
So what? You don't take the vitamins.
I know, Dad. I'm sorry.
I understand, Emma.
Get her upstairs. I don't want her in here. I don't want her in here. I have enough with him. I don't need her. Everybody says, get out. My brother. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Get out.
Kathy and LouAnn, your cross petition is just a lot of nonsense fiction and slander toward my wife. I warned you about me, and I am warning you again. I could write a 52-page response to your fake 26-page petition, and you will want to crawl into a hole and cry. My wife may not be perfect, but what she is imperfectly perfect. Denise has more character in her bowel movement than you two ever had all your life. Now this is the moment I waited for. It gives me great pleasure to present some character witness statements from family, friends, and people Denise has worked for.
I quickly found Denise to be someone who is very caring and always eager to help. Over the years I relied on Denise to teach my 3 children. They loved spending time with her and she showed them nothing but love and compassion. She is such a caring woman, and I am fortunate to have her as a friend and neighbor. Sincerely, Julie Thompson.
I have known D-Miron for at least 5 years. She cares for an older gentleman in my apartment complex who is my neighbor. I'll see her as a reliable and responsible woman. What is really special about her is that in addition to the care she gives, she spends time doing creative things with him. Many times I have found a small token of their arts and crafts at my doorstep. One time it was a stone with a lovely sentiment on it, and another, a painted welcome sign for my patio. Helen Spataro.
When it came to Emma and all of Denise's elderly friends, she was selfless. In closing, I want to say that having known Denise for all these years, I have only recently learned that Emma has a family other than Denise. I was shocked. D-Miron is a selfless individual who goes out of her way on a daily basis for others in need. This attack on her is a disgusting display made by selfish monsters for a reason I cannot comprehend. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. Kimberly Revere.
My aunt is a kind and caring person. She always goes above and beyond for anyone in need, especially family. In recent years, a good amount of time was spent caring for my grandfather, who passed away in 2018, and for Emma, whose medical needs have also increased over the years. Even when their health was not the best, She always made it a priority to make sure they were included in family events and able to participate and see their loved ones. She would sacrifice her free time to take them to appointments, fill prescriptions, cook meals, and do the other things they could no longer do for themselves. Sincerely, Daniel Ackerman.
After the death of her mother, she was extremely close to her dad and stepmother Emma. When they had medical issues, Denise was right there to assist them with doctor appointments, as well as the primary caregiver. She and her husband also assisted with other required duties to include maintenance on the house, as well as driving them for social functions. Once her dad became ill, she promised him that she would continue to look after Emma medically and socially upon his death. Denise has kept her promise to her father and treats her like her own mother. Denise has also taken care of many elderly people, and you can see the joy in her face in making sure the elderly are happy and not alone on April Brigandy.
I have resided next door to the Myron Ackerman household for 25 years. I was privy to the relationship Denise Myron had with her father, Peter Ackerman, and his wife, Emma. Through the years, as the Ackermans aged and Pete Ackerman's health began to fail, I saw Denise help Emma take care of Pete and the necessary household responsibilities. As the years went on, Denise took on the role of primary caretaker because Emma was no longer able to care for him alone. Everything that they needed was taken care of by Denise and her husband, Daryl. This included daily chores like cooking, cleaning, food shopping, and personal hygiene. It also encompassed household duties of maintaining the residence and property. Even further, she follows through with all the medical appointments to ensure the health and safety of both Pete and Emma. After the death of her father, almost 4 years ago, Denise continued to take care of Emma and the house. Emma was included in all the family and friend gatherings, including our parties. Denise is a natural caretaker and is employed as an elderly caretaker and companion. Denise has been committed to caring for Emma, not only as a family member, but also from the kindness in her heart. I have been witness to Denise's willingness to help people in times of need. Denise, Daryl, Emma, and Pete were always very dear and outstanding neighbors, and I feel fortunate for my relationship with them. Sincerely, Tina Finnan.
I think we are starting to see the big picture now. It has become obvious my wife of 40 years is not the person Kathleen and LouAnn are trying to portray. On the other hand, we should have some significant concerns about Kathleen and LouAnn. September 7th was the last time we saw Emma. We tried calling her on her cell phone, which was turned off. Kathy and LouAnn would not answer our phone calls. Later that day, we went into Emma's apartment looking for something that would tell us where they took her. Emma's apartment was filthy. Papers were piled up on the kitchen table, including financial documents, and spoiled and outdated food was in the refrigerator. We had no idea what they would do to Emma, so on September 8th we called the police. We provided the addresses of Kathleen and LouAnn, and the police provided a wellness check of Emma. On the very next day, we listened to Emma's messages on her landline phone.
Hello, this is Edgepark calling to follow up with your current continued care supply order. We have not heard from you and are concerned you may be running low on supplies. Edgepark cannot process your order until you confirm your need for these supplies by logging into your account at www.edgepark.com.
EdgePark provides diabetes care products like insulin diabetes testing, continuous glucose monitoring, and other medical products.
Hi, my name is Sean. I'm calling from Metro Physical Therapy. This message is for Emma. We got a script from Dr. Zuckerman for some in-home physical therapy for you. Just hoping to set you up.
When LouAnn and Emma left on September 7th, they left behind her medicines that were right on the kitchen counter. The meds are Synthroid, hydrochlorothiazide, and butalbital. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know how important these meds are, but I do know the importance of taking your medication. Four days after Emma was removed from her home on September 11th, Kathleen and two of her hoodlums arrived and tried to gain entry into our home. This clip is going to show you how vile Kathleen really is. You will see that Kathleen is the pure definition of a narcissist and a coward.
You're not coming in the house if Emma's not here. Touch him, please.
Oh, yes? We got permission.
Watch your luck, Mr.
If Emma is not here, you are not welcome.
We have her permission.
The cops told me this is my house.
You better watch out, lady.
Yeah, you better watch out, pal. Now you better watch out.
First of all, you're talking to the wrong person.
Okay, I'm proud
She's
of
pushing
No,
him.
you push him. No,
Yes, she did.
She said fire.
Okay, let's take a quick look at this. As Denise approaches, Ray Monahan closes the gate on Denise. No class, right? Denise tries to go around Ray to stop Kathleen from illegally entering her house, and Ray blocks her and strong-arms her into the small garden area. Kathleen is already trying to open the locked screen door to get in. Here is another example of uncontrolled lying by Kathleen and LouAnn. In their cross-petition on page 13, they accused Denise and me of shoving Ray and Tim on September 11th. As you can see, Denise did not shove Ray, and I will tell you I did not shove Tim. Matter of fact, everything in this petition statement is a lie. I think we need a new rule here. Anything these two say is most likely not the truth.
You're still on camera. Still on camera either way. You guys are not supposed to be here without her.
911.
Good, excellent.
Show her the paper.
We don't have to show them anything.
Now get a phone with me.
Over and over, Kathleen is violating our rights. She thinks she can just come over and barrel her way into our home. This woman is so vile and disrespectful of others, she should lose every license to practice for the Stony Brook University School of Social Welfare.
Do you want her belongings out of here or don't you?
No, but I don't want you touching them.
31. Colby
You already freaking wiped out all the bank accounts.
I didn't do anything.
You know what?
Don't accuse me of doing something that I didn't.
Hey, guess what? I don't have to accuse you guys of that. You want to take care of it, that's fine. But I'm looking out because you know what? I feel like you're not taking
Written
care of
permission
her.
to go into this, her apartment and retrieve her clothes. And the tenant that's upstairs is not allowing.
The homeowner. The homeowner.
Okay.
The homeowner.
What's the nearest cross street?
Meyer Lane.
Meyer Lane.
And they're being combative.
The homeowner.
My aunt lives downstairs of a house that she was living with her deceased husband.
Her
I
daughter.
soon returned with my cell phone to video the incident.
What'd I tell you? that she would lock it, that she would come down into the apartment and lock it?
You know what? She's not here. As far as we know, she's not living here. Because you guys took her. Didn't say what you guys are doing with her. As far as we know, you kidnapped her. Prove it. Prove it. Prove it. Prove it. Prove it. I know. You guys are unscrupulous. So you know what? It's possible.
We're unscrupulous.
Listen, I don't care what my words. They don't mean nothing to you. That's fine.
Antony, what is the definition of unscrupulous?
An unscrupulous person is without scruples of conscience, and disregards or has contempt for laws of right or justice with which they are perfectly well acquainted, and which should restrain their actions. Methods of making money that are unscrupulous often involve taking advantage of the unfortunate.
I think my choice of words is spot on in my characterization of these thugs.
Not to be trusted.
Unscrupulous is what you guys have been tormenting of doing.
Oh, really?
For months.
They took all the money, all the property, all the...
Denise
Hey,
asked us to get
shut up.
involved.
I'm not
Fuck
listening to you.
Tell me to shut up.
I
Fuck
just
you.
did. Don't talk to me.
How's that?
Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me, Tim.
He's not even worth it.
Don't even talk to me, Tim. Because you're not worth it.
Yeah.
Okay. Douchebag.
Yeah. You with your words.
Yeah,
Tough words.
I got words like you.
Can I see that?
No, you can't.
So how can I let you in if I don't see any
You
documentation?
have nothing to do with this.
No, you are nothing at all to
People
us.
that are going to see this letter are the cops.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go for it.
Bye-bye.
Now get out of the off the property. Yeah. Look at that. So they built another asshole like you, huh? What are you, like their bodyguard? Huh? Yeah, are you the bodyguard, Jim? Huh? Is that what you are?
Yep.
Yeah, good. You know what? You're in for a big surprise because we know what you're going to do, and you're in for a big surprise. Oh my God! You think we don't have everything that we need? We do. Just so you know. Just so you know.
Stupid, you're shutting off your mouth.
No, because you know why? Because you can't stop me. That's the whole thing. That's why I can say what I'm saying. Because you can't stop me. You can't stop me. You're in for a shock. In for a shock. I love it.
Watch after I mention the word brainwashed. Kathleen becomes very nervous because she knows that I know.
You gonna try to make my wife look bad? You watch what I can do.
All we're trying to do is comply with what Denise asked for. Is to get
You know what? You guys brainwashed her for one. You guys brainwashed her. Yes, you did. Absolutely did. You guys told her that Pete was staying here and never went down to visit Emma, right? Peter never stayed here. It's perfect. It's perfect. Because your bullshit will always be bullshit. Listen, you know what? Listen, let's not talk to each other because it almost turns my stomach to even look at you. No, I'm standing right here. I'm standing right here. And by the way, the cops will probably take about 2 hours to get here. Listen, you know what?
Did you hear that? Kathleen denies ever being here. My new rule applies to that statement.
Just so you know. Good. Good. Don't worry about it. I got cameras all over the place.
We know you do.
Yeah, yep. But and one thing I want to make the record straight. Those two apparatuses inside that downstairs, those are glass break alarms, okay? They're not cameras. You're covering them with cloth. It's like, these people are stupid. These people are stupid. We're not going to make this easy for you. You know what? You all the finances. You know, we got the paperwork, but you did too. With the finances, you took all the finances, right? This was Peter's money, all right? Peter don't want creeps like you having all that money. I know, it's funny, right? Hope you cancer and die. Well, if you do, just remember, it's me who wished it on you. Okay? Just remember that. Just remember that.
Kathleen pusillanimously goes into the car and hides in the back seat.
Good. You'll never find out until it's too late.
You tell me what you want and I'll gladly pack it.
Yep, we'll pack it for you. How's that sound?
Whatever you want, you can have.
If it's her clothes, we have no problem with that. If it's her medicine, that's absolutely crucial for her. So we would love to have you.
We tried to do a common use.
Again, in their cross petition on page 13, Kathleen stated, "We refuse to turn over Emma's medicines, clothes, and personal items." That was not the truth.
Peter held Emma's insulin in his hand while demanding that he would not turn it over until Kathleen agreed to allow them to see Emma. The police, who Raymond had called, directed Peter and Denise to give over the medication and personal items that they had refused to turn over. Denise finally threw Emma's clothing into a bag, and Peter finally gave Kathleen the insulin.
Well, you know what? But you guys have. I would like to talk to the other homeowner.
I have no idea.
You want? So you don't have an idea, but you all just want to just like
You want to barge right in with your attitude. They have to say, Jim, right? Is that your name? I'm sorry. Jim? Henry? No, yeah, okay, Jim. You know what? They came here, and they're the ones who have attitudes. They're the ones who have bad mouths. No, not us. So we're going to write back to them. We're not going to make this so hard for you guys that it's, you're going to wish you never did it.
My brother wants to know if you want to speak to him.
Do you want to speak to Peter?
He's the other homeowner. Speak to him. You know, Kat, you think you can condescend me all you want. I'm going to speak before it justifies. So you know what? Then we'll have it all settled, okay? You want to speak to my brother?
Go away. Go away. We freaking live here, lady.
Listen, if you could speak like a normal person.
No, she can't.
No, she can get out of the car.
Can I have the phone? No.
She can get out of the car and
No.
speak to him. He knows my number. All right, you know what, Pete? Call her number. She's sitting in the car like a baby. She's too delicate. She's a princess. She's a princess. So she has to bring her back up.
I mean, tell us what you want. I mean,
I can
dude.
get her clothes. You guys are the ones who left without her clothes. You didn't
Without her medicines.
After they were locked in the garage is the story I heard.
What's that? What's that?
Listen,
Oh, that's hysterical.
Her dog was running out to the street. Okay. That's why I shut the garage. But they were already in the house. Okay. There's an entrance, and they were already in the house.
They didn't lock her. They didn't lock them in the garage.
They were already in the house. They got locked in the garage. You know what? You people are
locked them in the garage.
You people are whack.
Nobody locked anybody in the garage. Denise, did you open the garage back up? How did they get out if they were locked in there?
They went through the
Oh, they went. Oh, okay. So tell me, when they were locked in the garage, how did they get out? Did my wife let them out?
Physically attack me.
No, because I'm making a point here. I'm making a point here. So when you guys got locked in the garage, how did you guys get out?
I have it in video. They physically attacking me.
No.
Would you like to see it?
No, not really.
No, because
all I want to do is you don't want my aunt here anymore.
I didn't say
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You took
You
him.
started this by saying you're not taking care of my aunt anymore.
No. That's
When Timothy first arrived, he said he knows nothing. Then here he says we started the problem. Later on, you will see Timothy is right in the middle of it all.
That's baloney. That's baloney because you guys took over responsibility. You all took over responsibility.
I called her nieces and said, listen, at 6 months, in October, and said, your aunt had to go to rehab because she had pneumonia. Okay? And I said to them, listen, I hired an aide for 2 days a week. Okay? And I hired a house cleaner.
It's all about the money, guys.
It's all about
the money. It's all about the money.
I never asked you to for one penny. She never gave me a penny. Okay? I did all your food shopping.
Here's Kathleen the coward with a big mouth hiding in her car. Me believing Kathleen is a narcissist. Why can't she explain her actions and just runs away?
They run away because they know you're in the right, and what you're saying is facts, and they have nothing to back themselves up, or they're just afraid of being in the wrong. When you call them out on the things that they do, they'll try to change the subject completely, because they know that everything you say will sabotage their whole mindset.
I'll step back.
You need to step back.
Oh yeah, really? I need to now?
First of all, you're on public property. This is not your
Oh really? What's it, like 5 feet?
Go get the easement, and
You go get the easement and stick it up your ass.
Don't come near the car.
Don't come near the car. Why? What are you going to do? I'm standing right here.
I'm not going
What
to
are
do
you gonna
nothing.
do?
When the cops
Okay.
come here, they
Oh
can take
yeah,
care of
yeah, they ain't gonna do anything.
I never said
I don't understand why it's got to get to that. I don't understand it.
Listen,
they don't want to live in here. My brother tried to call her. My son tried to call his grandmother.
They systematically.
My daughter tried to call his grandmother. They won't let her speak to nobody.
They systematically came here and took all the financials out of
They got
here.
her in a bathroom. They're signing papers in a bathroom, in a dirty bathroom. I got her on video, hiding papers under her skirt,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Meanwhile, she's got a pocketbook that's the size of a suitcase. That's how smart this woman is here in the car. Okay? You want to take the papers? I have the financial box that she took out of the safe. The big green box with all Emma had everything in order. Guess what? They took everything. They wiped everything out of this house.
They systematically.
There's nothing in this house
And they
anymore.
transferred all her
And then I
banking.
have all the papers that they left on the kitchen table, all the financial papers. My brother came to see Emma yesterday. All the stocks that was left for the grandchildren, it was all divided up for the grandchildren. Guess who's getting it? 50% LouAnn and 50% Kathleen Monahan.
Yep. No, you are.
You guys want to come here and harass me? You want her clothes? I gladly pack them. Whatever she wants, she can have it. Emma is more than welcome to come back here.
Especially her
and live.
medications. That's my
She
concern.
is more than welcome to come back here.
Is she
and
getting her
live.
medication?
But
Can anybody confirm
you give
that?
her back her money so she can afford an aide to help take care of her.
I didn't do anything. So
I didn't say you
Right.
did.
Oh, you're saying you.
I
and
did
I'm
not
saying
say you. But you make sure you're relative. I don't know who she is to you.
Where's your phone? Because I don't know how much battery I have.
I don't know who she is to you. But if Emma wants to come back here, then she has to have the financial means to have somebody help her. Because I work full time. I don't know about any of you guys. You all seem to have time to come back and forth. But I work full time. And the only time that Kathy and LouAnn ever seem to come is when I'm at work. Because it's
And it is so gross down here that somebody's got to clean
They
up.
don't come. You know what they do? They come and they take her out for lunch. They think that's their duty.
And they drop her off.
Denise does all the shopping. Denise does all of this. Denise does this.
Systematically
I took care of my.
took all the
like my
financials
brother
out of
said,
here.
Why would I take care of her for 4 years and then all of a sudden decide I don't want
This is
to
good.
take care of
This
her?
is good. Let me tell you something. No, honestly, honest conversation. If somebody did this to your family, if somebody did this to your family, it would be a problem, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? I'm not going to say that answer. If somebody did this to your family, it would be a problem. Right? Right? Peter worked long and hard, put a lot of investments, and here we go, these 2, 3 people, whoever, you know, they want it. They want it so bad, they want every penny of it. Forget about the grandchildren. Forget them. You don't give a shit. You don't give a shit about the grandchildren. That's what Peter wanted that money for. I'm a son-in-law. I'm not entitled to any of it. I'm okay with that. When I see pieces of shit people like this trying to take money like that, every penny, every cent of it, and they do it in such a terrible way, disgusting people. If somebody did that to your family, they come in and they're sneaking out documents underneath their dress and whatnot, right?
I don't want to grant funds. I want to see her in person.
You'll ask her. You'll ask her in front of the police officers what she wants to do.
Would you not be there?
Will?
If it's my house, I'll be there.
In her own home. Where has she been living in over
Okay,
the last 30 years?
Doesn't benefit either of us.
And I'm sorry, my name's Erin, and your name?
Can you put an Emma on the phone for a minute, please? That's my aunt.
That's your aunt?
Right.
Can I ask you something? I have never met you guys in any of
I'm gonna
these
put it on
celebrations,
speakerphone.
all the stuff that we've been at.
Hey, and
I guess I'll
His father was
well,
alive.
not too good.
You
We're
didn't-
in a little.
This next part really baffles me. Peter is going to talk to Emma on the speakerphone. Listen carefully, because what I am hearing and understanding is different than what they heard. You decide for yourself.
Would you have any objection for me to come over and bring you medication?
Fine.
Okay, thank you.
Did Emma just agree to let Peter come to give Emma her medicines? Sounds like it to me, or am I missing something here? Now back to the point of that conversation.
Would you have any objection for me to come over and bring you medication?
Fine.
Okay,
Can we
thank
see you? Emma, it's Karen. Can we see you?
Yes.
You hear that? Did you hear that?
Well, can I come and see you?
Yeah, 2 no's.
Can I just ask one question? Emma, why? Why can't Peter see you?
Again, in their cross petition on page 13, paragraph 39, it was stated that Peter was holding the insulin, refusing to hand it over unless his demands were met, and Denise just threw Emma's clothes in a bag.
Peter held Emma's insulin in his hand while demanding that he would not turn it over until Kathleen agreed to allow them to see Emma. The police, who Raymond had called, directed Peter and Denise to give over the medication and personal items that they had refused to turn over. Denise finally threw Emma's clothing into a bag, and Peter finally gave Kathleen the insulin.
This paragraph is written under penalty of perjury, making it sound like we are some low-life creeps, when in fact they are the creeps. As you can see here, the clothes were nicely packed into 5 bags, and Peter never withheld Emma's insulin. Quite honestly, they are just talking out of their ass with BS. As we already covered, Kathleen is a licensed therapist who can legally perform psychotherapeutic techniques. From my experiences with and the behavior of Kathleen Monahan, one has to ask the question, did Kathleen use this potent treatment to manipulate Emma Ackerman into separating herself from her family of over 25 years and to transfer the accumulated wealth of Emma and Peter Ackerman and name herself and LouAnn Roarth as beneficiary? Let's talk about that.
The worst thing a therapist can do is take advantage of a client for personal gain. Even though most therapists are drawn to the field because they are caring people who want to empower and help those who are hurting, therapy is no safer from the worst human motives than any other profession. Therapists are in a position of power over their clients. This is why there are so many rules therapists must follow, including rules against having social and sexual relationships with the people they treat. Unfortunately, that power imbalance sometimes attracts the wrong people to the field. While most therapists respect these rules, there are a few who actively seek to take advantage of their clients.
I wouldn't describe Kathleen or LouAnn as caring people, and even though Emma is not a client, there are rules to forbid the use of psychotherapeutic techniques on family members and for personal gain. Let's discuss the August 8th, 2022 audio recording with Emma, Kathleen, and myself when I went downstairs to Emma's apartment. Knowing I couldn't get a simple answer out of Kathleen, I thought I would stick to one fundamental question and keep asking it. What is their long-term plan for Emma's well-being and health? We didn't talk about anything else, just this one question. What I heard, I believe, was a psychotherapy session between Kathleen and Emma.
But what is the plan, Emma, for your well-being and health?
I don't even think of it.
You don't, and they don't think of it either, I guess.
They probably do, but they haven't said anything to me.
So after over 5 months of taking over Emma's financial investments, bank accounts, and removing my wife from power of attorney, no one has talked to Emma about her future care. Kathleen and LouAnn are very brazen people.
So really, so you have no answer. Is that official? Because I'm recording right now also, just so you know. You have no answer to what your plans are in the care of Emma. Am I right? Am I right? Okay, thank you. I understand. That answer means no, right? No.
Whatever you want it to mean to him.
No, it's not what it means to me. It means what it means to...
Go away.
It's what it means...
my aunt.
What it means to others.
I'm visiting my aunt. Okay. You are harassing me now.
No, I'm not.
Go away.
No, I'm not. Why are you yelling at me for?
Go away.
Why are you yelling at me?
You're intrusive.
Are you going to attack me?
You're
standing up now like you're going to attack me.
This is what he did to me the other day.
I didn't even see you the other day.
At this point, I think Kathleen doesn't like the way this conversation is going and decides to apply a little psychotherapy to Emma.
He's implying that I'm trying to hurt you.
I didn't see you the other day.
And he's trying to tape it to make it sound like I'm trying to hurt
you.
I asked you nicely.
Confronting a narcissist can lead to narcissistic rage. This is when a narcissist gets angry, aggressive, or passive-aggressive when their illusion of superiority and perfection is damaged. They might insult you, threaten violence, yell, or lie to make themselves look better.
What's going to happen when she needs help?
I think you have the brain power to figure that out.
Well, you hurt my feelings so bad. This is not my first rodeo, honey.
Dr. Denman's presentation of the adverse effects of psychotherapy was novel and welcome. Denman, 2011. The topic is under-researched in comparison to the wealth of data on the side effects of medication. Although I am a frequent advocate of psychotherapy for patients, I would venture to suggest 3 very important additional adverse effects: inappropriate or missed diagnoses, psychological dependence and withdrawal, and boundary violations leading to sexual abuse or financial manipulation. They have become psychologically dependent on their therapists, and their therapists have become financially dependent on them. The emergence of new symptoms, which includes the development of interpersonal difficulties or issues within the family or at work, are possible signs of a negative impact of psychotherapy. A therapist that prioritizes his or her own needs, exploitative, narcissistic, voyeuristic, over the patient's needs, can do harm. Hypnotherapy does have some risks. The most dangerous is the potential to create false memories, called confabulations. Some other potential side effects are headache, dizziness, and anxiety. Hypnosis itself is not a form of psychotherapy, but a tool that helps clinicians facilitate various types of therapies and medical or psychological treatments. Trained healthcare providers certified in clinical hypnosis can decide, with their patient, if hypnosis should be used along with other treatments. As with psychotherapy, the length of hypnosis treatment varies, depending on the complexity of the problem. Narcissistic therapists are very much like cult leaders. They do not want you to have access to outside support, or to those who may challenge their authority and guru-like status. That is why they make sure to isolate you from your loved ones, and anyone who threatens their control over you and your psyche. A toxic therapist is one who will discourage you from consulting other perspectives, getting a second opinion, or getting support from anyone else but him or her. This enables the narcissistic therapist to wield complete and utter power over every facet of your life as you become increasingly dependent on them. You develop a sense of learned helplessness as there is no one else there to validate or support you on your journey, or to guide you to resist the therapist's gaslighting attempts. Good therapists know that their role is not to tell you what to do. Instead, they want to help you come to your own realizations. Good therapists won't try to control or manipulate you to get you to do what they think you should do or what they want you to do.
Emma, did you change the power of attorney?
No.
Your niece did. Your niece changed the power of attorney. Me and her were supposed to be power of attorney together. So if your niece,
Yeah.
So if your niece decides that she wants to put you in a nursing home, she can.
Emma, how do you feel about that and all that going on? You tell me you didn't know this was going to happen?
I don't know.
No? See, that concerns me because, we're always on the up and up all the time, We really are. And now you're telling me that, they've done something that you had no knowledge of, right? And I'm talking about
I
power.
had knowledge of it.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
but you approved of it, that taking her off?
Pardon me?
You approved of them taking off Denise?
Because she had said that we should do this.
Right.
I feel like they're putting a wedge between us. They're turning the hatefulness. They're making you, me feel like that you want nothing to do with me. That I've always tried to do best by you. And I just feel very hurt that they would even think that. And I even questioned Kathy on that. And she said, oh, no. And, but they've never had a conversation with me. Never. Could sit down, never answered. I would talk to them over a text or call them. Shut me down.
Yeah.
Here is a letter from Kathleen Monahan dated July 21st, 2022, stating the removal of Denise from power of attorney. No discussion, no explanation why, and very unprofessional, just a failure to communicate. Here is the notarized version of the letter. Notice the date of March 24th. A total of 128 days between March 24th and July 30th. The postmark date on the envelope. I think they had plenty of time to discuss this with Denise. We know that meeting never happened. Do you think Kathleen and LouAnn are up to no good yet? There's more.
Here is an address change confirmation letter from Apple Bank sent to Emma Ackerman dated July 22nd, 2022. Did Kathleen and LouAnn decide it would be to their benefit if Emma's Apple Bank statements went to LouAnn's home at 5 Park Avenue, Patchogue, New York? Were they being cautious of someone seeing changes made to the Apple Bank accounts that benefited Kathleen and LouAnn?
Did Emma know about this? LouAnn removed Emma from her home of 25 years on September 7th. That is 47 days after the address change letter dated July 22nd. Let's talk about that. In the cross-petition page 12, paragraph 37, it was stated during the September 7th incident, Emma asked LouAnn, "Can I come home with you?" In the video clip, you can hear Emma asking LouAnn to bring the rest of the things into the house.
You guys are doing a terrible job with her. Terrible job.
Get the things.
In a month's time, I've seen such
You
a
hear me,
decline.
LouAnn? You guys are doing a terrible job.
In a month's
Terrible.
time.
Terrible job.
A few minutes later, as Emma requested, LouAnn is bringing in the shopping bag and milk carton. Just about an hour later, LouAnn is walking toward the back entrance and stops to make a phone call. Is LouAnn trying to call Kathleen for instructions on what to do? You see, my point is, did Emma say to LouAnn, "Can I come home with you," as stated in their cross-petition, or did LouAnn and Kathleen make that decision? From what I'm seeing here, Emma had no intentions to leave her home of 25 years. One half hour later, LouAnn comes out with shopping bags.
The bottom line is when my aunt looked at me and said, "Could you please take me out of here on Wednesday night?" I said, "Of course, Aunt Emma."
So which is it, LouAnn? Was it after Emma assaulted Denise? Or was it that night Emma asked you? "Can I come home with you?" In the video, the September 7th incident started at 3 p.m. and you are removing Emma's bags at 5:33 p.m., which makes no sense at all. You just can't make this stuff up.
Documentary evidence has legal significance because it is not hearsay. Examples of documentary evidence include wills, leases, memoranda, reports, contracts, promissory notes, ransom notes, and checks.
Before we begin showing documentation evidence, let's talk about the handling of some of the financial documents. Here is a statement from the cross-petition provided by Kathleen and LouAnn.
A photograph of Emma with the envelopes of personal papers that she keeps in her safe is very telling. Emma had organized her important papers in numbered envelopes, each clearly labeled with its contents. This is how Emma has always and continues to this day to conduct her own personal affairs. She knows the extent of her property, including the important papers that were contained in her safe, and is very organized with her belongings.
Kathleen, LouAnn, you got me there. I can't agree more. Emma is very organized with her paper keeping. So the problem is, why are financial papers strewed out across the kitchen table? LouAnn, this is how you left everything on that day of September 7th. You left behind a lot of incriminating evidence. Honestly, it looked like a crime scene, and maybe it was. Here is a beneficiary update by Ameriprise Financial Services, dated November 21st, 2019, provided for and signed by Emma Ackerman over a year after Peter Ackerman died on October 29th, 2018. This was not signed under duress or influence by others. The beneficiary designation list includes 14 recipients. Emma included her nieces and nephews, who mainly were non-existent in Emma's 21 years, married to Peter, and included Peter Ackerman's daughter and his grandchildren. There is one name missing from this list, and that is Kathleen Monahan. I also want to point out that on the list, everyone is listed as 7% except my wife of 40 years. Now, why is that? I can tell you because I was there. Denise cared for Emma in so many ways and was very much the daughter Emma never had. Kathleen and LouAnn took that all away from Emma. Let's take a look at more documents. Now here is a beneficiary updated on August 15, 2022, and lo and behold, some changes have been made. The one change that sticks out, now Kathleen is listed as a beneficiary and Denise has been removed. Is this a coincidence? There are other changes made that don't look copacetic either. Emma's nieces and nephews are now up to 8%, and Peter's grandchildren are now 5% except Travis, who is now 8%. It must be because Emma was very fond of Travis, and LouAnn even says so in her conversation with Travis.
You've seen a side of my aunt that maybe I haven't seen because I didn't grow up in the same household as you did. As I said, you are like her favorite, and she's never said any negative thing about you ever. So I have to, based on what I know of my aunt, think that you are genuinely concerned about my aunt.
Oh, I am. I don't care about anything else.
Whatever I can to get her
Yeah.
to call you, I will do. But I want it made known that I'm concerned now that you have my personal cell phone number, and I don't even know you. So how'd you get that?
Hey LouAnn, my son Travis is still waiting for that phone call from his grandmother. You know, the women he calls grandma for 26 years. It's really telling that you admit you don't even know who Travis is. I guess you weren't really as close to Emma as you try to make it seem. 3 days after that phone call on September 15th, Emma moved to the Bristol Assisted Living at Holtzville, New York. Denise and I had no idea where she was until a few months afterward. As Travis lived in Alabama and worked as a flight instructor for the U.S. Army, it's been a while since he saw his grandmother. For the Christmas holidays, Travis was able to come to New York, and out of concern for his grandmother, he desperately wanted to see her. On December 21st, Travis went to Bristol in an attempt to see Emma. I asked Travis to record the visit.
Okay, are we sure about that? Because I've been trying to get a hold of. I mean, I'm her favorite resident.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to get a hold of her for many months. There are some other influences that are trying to keep her away from me and other people.
Okay, I'm not privy to that. Okay, you don't have to explain.
Yeah, it seems a little fishy because I did call about an hour ago and they said come on in. So
somebody told you to come in?
I said I'm going to come over here and they said sure. So it kind of seems like
yeah, that's kind of weird. So
This is me. Thank you.
is there any way I can speak to her on a phone and see if she wants to say that to me on the phone?
I can talk to her.
I would love to have her talk on a phone if possible.
Brady keeps changing the numbers.
I'll make sure that we can do that. 6 people.
But right now they both go back in the office to discuss. Can I talk to her on the phone?
Do you have her number?
She doesn't answer her cell phone. I feel like her cell phone is not even on. You guys don't have a way to contact her on a phone? Just because things seem a little fishy, because to be honest with you, when I came here, visit her, I feel like did somebody really go see her that quick and determine that she's not feeling well? Because as soon as I came here, ma'am.
Do we know you?
Yes. No. Ma'am, I just feel like as soon as I just asked, can I see her? Within about a minute and a half, you guys came to me and told me she's not feeling well.
Okay.
Am I able to call her room?
I cannot give that information out.
So how do I get that information as family? Family not allowed to have that information?
I would reach out to LouAnn or someone else and see if they're willing to give that information to you.
Okay.
Well, there you have it. After 14 minutes of Travis getting the runaround, he finally got the receptionist to admit why he cannot see his grandmother. Travis continued to question her, and she said 3 more times, "You have to talk to LouAnn."
I would reach out to LouAnn or someone else and see if they're willing to give that information to you.
We all can suspect that someone else is Kathleen Monahan. Good job, Trav.
I just want to see my grandmother. That's all I want.
Reach out to LouAnn.
Okay. They've lied to me over and over again saying, yeah, she loves you. You can't use your phone. I don't know the phone number. Just
You gotta reach out to LouAnn.
But that doesn't work. So I
unfortunately,
can't never see my grandmother again.
I'm saying reach out to LouAnn.
Okay, and are we sure this doesn't have anything to do with them trying to block everybody else except
I don't
for
have
them?
nothing to do with that.
I really think the authorities need to investigate this thoroughly. Here is a copy of Emma's life insurance policy dated February 16, 2021. The sticky note near the top is addressed to Denise. Emma counted on Denise for many things, including important documents. This handwritten document shows a Symetra annuity investment fund dated March 6, 2013. This is a joint account for Peter and Emma Ackerman, with the beneficiaries being Peter and Denise. Notice the names don't say stepson or stepdaughter. I don't know much about this investment, but one thing I do know, I don't trust Kathleen and LouAnn. As you can see, Emma would write everything down on notepaper. This is not unusual for Emma. In this notepaper, we see information about 3 investments: Pacific Life, U.S. Life, and an updated version of the Symetra annuity investment. You can see where Emma added the will information on 2 of the investments. What is written here matches the last document. There is no date provided, but the investment has increased over $12,000. You do the math. On top is the lower portion of Exhibit E, showing just the Symetra investment with no date. Exhibit F at the bottom is also the Symetra investment dated April 6, 2018, and a value of $112,175. So at 2.6% interest, the date should be around October 6, 2018, for the Exhibit E Symetra investment. On each note, as shown, the beneficiaries are Peter Ackerman Jr. and Denise Miron. What I would like to point out on this next form is the beneficiary information in the relationship box. It is written stepson and stepdaughter. So as I see it, there is a distinction between how these forms are filled out. I do not have any other beneficiary information relating to this page. And here is another handwritten note with Emma's name printed on top, and on the right side is a handwritten note showing information for American General Insurance. Here is a list of 5 separate accounts with Sterling Bank dated February 16, 2019. Under the date shows a total of $202,299. On the left, the account numbers have been redacted, and to the right are the account type, amount, and beneficiary names. And on the back of the same page are 3 more accounts. This page has a list of various stocks like Verizon, Comcast, Manulife, AT&T, Morgan Stanley, Ameriprise, Pacific Life, John Hancock, Hartford, and others. At the bottom of this page we see a familiar name, Donna Marie Dyer. My wife tells me she is the only one who actually kept in touch with Emma through the years. Here is an extensive list of accounts with Webster Bank, including information like type of accounts, balance, and list of names and other information. By now you can see how diverse these investments are. Here is an Apple Bank recap. If you look to the right, you will notice names: Michael and Tommy Burke, LouAnn Roarth, and Tim Monahan. You will also notice Denise Miron on the list for a checking account. Emma had full trust in Denise, and never has there been an issue between Emma and Denise. I also want to make a point. Emma did include family members from both families. Did one family become greedy? Next, we have a Pacific Life policy. The account number has been redacted, as in all documents. I do believe this is a life insurance policy. On the 3rd line, it shows the beneficiary to be Peter and Denise. Now on the left side of the page, you can see the dates of April 2022. So why did Emma make Peter and Denise beneficiaries at that time? Is it because they were Emma's closest family? Was it because they were Peter Ackerman's descendants? I think it was both reasons. April 2022 was when we started to get suspicious of Kathleen and LouAnn. Here's another handwritten Sterling National Bank document. What really stands out to me is some of these investments are maturing in April 2022, around the same time Kathleen and LouAnn are allegedly removing financial documents from our home. Is this a coincidence? Just another handwritten Sterling National Bank page. Emma's record-keeping methods might be unusual, but heck, what do I know? I'm not an accountant. As we continue the process of displaying various documents, this one is very telling, so pay attention. First, let's look at the beneficiary list on this document. Now, as shown on the right is the Ameriprise beneficiary list dated November 21st, 2019. Both lists closely match, except a small change has been made on the left to include Kathleen Monahan. The last date written on the left is May 8th, 2022. That amounts to over 30 months. Pretty stable beneficiary list, except for one small change, right? Now let's take a look at the Ameriprise beneficiary list dated August 15th, 2022. As you can see, major changes have been made. The beneficiary list was changed just 3 months and 8 days after Emma dated her list on May 8th. So my question is, who made those drastic changes?
Dear Emma, we're writing to confirm that Kathleen Monahan and LouAnn Monahan Roth are attorneys in fact to your accounts. Kathleen Monahan and LouAnn Monahan Roth now have the following authority. Full authority. This allows an authorized person to open new non-trust accounts, enter into margin and option agreements, buy and sell securities, change ownership of and move money and assets to accounts within and outside of Ameriprise Financial. Additionally, you've authorized Kathleen Monahan and LouAnn Monahan Roth to act independently as attorneys in fact on your non-trust accounts. In addition, you have granted Kathleen Monahan and LouAnn Monahan Roth the authorization to make changes to current beneficiary designations on your non-trust accounts and to name beneficiaries for any new non-trust accounts opened in your ownership.
Emma wanted everybody else except for you out of the deal.
Yeah.
She wanted out of the deal. And I'm telling you, I swear to God, whether I'm supposed to say this or not, my aunt wanted everybody out, and we said, Aunt Emma, think about it. These grandchildren didn't do anything to anybody. Please, just give them a little bit.
So hold on, LouAnn, let me get this straight. You're begging Emma to give her grandchildren a little bit, but you have full authority to open new accounts, change ownership of and move money and assets to accounts within and outside of Ameriprise Financial. So let me ask you a question. Do you have to beg Emma for you to open new accounts for anyone in your family? I don't know, I have to call this total bullshit. Here is an Apple Bank statement dated July 29th, 2022, addressed to Emma Ackerman and in care of LouAnn Roth. The account summary has a withdrawal of $25,000, a withdrawal date of July 29th, 2022. Emma was removed from her home of 25 years on September 7th. So what was the reason for withdrawing such a large sum of money? Do you have the receipts, LouAnn?
After the death of Peter Ackerman Sr. in 2018, the house was put into the Ackerman Family Trust by Peter J. Ackerman Jr. and D-Miron as co-trustees. During Peter's petition and cross-petition in late 2022, it was brought to my attention Kathleen and LouAnn attempted to take ownership of the home. I understand this was also mentioned to Honorable Justice Marion Tenari. Now, I can't prove this, of course, as I wasn't there, but I do have something to show you. Here is the property tax bill for 2022 to 2023. Just to make our life a little harder, LouAnn had the tax bill sent to her home at 5 Park Avenue, Patchogue, and fraudulently put her name as the owner on the tax bill. My thought is, if we don't receive the tax bill, we will not pay it and be in default, and somehow she would benefit.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, 1976. Copyright. Disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, 1976. Allowance is made for fair use, for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Before I give my final summation, I would like to touch on one of the weakest allegations in this documentary. Let's talk about that. Soon after Kathleen and LouAnn started to have a greater presence in Emma's life, I noticed a change in Emma's cognitive behavior. At first, I thought Kathleen and LouAnn were medicating Emma. I just knew something wasn't right with her. As time went on, after close observation of Kathleen and LouAnn, I started to wonder, was something more sinister happening? Was Kathleen using non-therapeutic hypnosis techniques to turn Emma against us? Some would say this is a wild allegation, but is it? Does Kathleen even possess the ability to perform hypnotherapy? Let's see what Kathleen Monahan has to say about this.
Hello, I'm Dr. Kathleen Monahan. I'm Associate Professor in the School of Social Welfare. I'm the Chair of Psychopathology and Psychopharmacology, and I give some guidance on the trauma.
Wow, psychopathology and psychopharmacology. Well, those are some really big words, Antoni. I will tell you what, they are very powerful words. Okay, so what type of treatment can a psychopathologist provide?
A psychopathologist provides psychotherapeutic treatments including psychotherapy, behavior therapy techniques, and hypnotherapy.
Antoni, isn't hypnotherapy and hypnosis the same thing?
Although hypnosis and hypnotherapy are words that are used rather interchangeably, the two words are not the same. Hypnosis is more a state of mind, while hypnotherapy is the name of the therapeutic version in which hypnosis is used.
What are some of the negative effects of hypnotherapy?
Negative symptoms are things that are taken away or reduced, like motivation or reduced intensity of emotion.
By reduced intensity of emotion, do you mean zombie-like?
Yes, sometimes.
Here is something I found on the web by Matthew Brownstein, dated April 27, 2021. The difference between a hypnotist and a hypnotherapist.
Where a hypnotist might give suggestions to the subconscious mind, a hypnotherapist uses more powerful and more advanced techniques to make change, which can be much longer lasting. A hypnotherapist uses transformational modalities, which not only talk to the subconscious mind, but rather talk with the subconscious mind.
There you have it. Kathleen is a psychopathologist and has the ability to administer more advanced hypnosis techniques to make changes that can be much longer lasting. A person like that could be very dangerous and in the hands of a narcissist. I shudder at the thought. Okay, let's move on to the other big word, psychopharmacology. So what is psychopharmacology?
Psychopharmacology is simply the study of how medications affect the mind and thinking processes. A psychopharmacologist is a psychiatrist who specialized in the use of medications to treat emotional symptoms.
If Kathleen is truly a psychopharmacologist, could she have prescribed mind-altering medicine to Emma?
I can't say for sure, but it does look like she could unless she is lying about her credentials.
From early on, I suspected that Emma was being drugged. There were times she acted like it. I had no way to prove she wasn't. But now I have reason to believe it's true. Kathleen is a psychopharmacologist, after all, and has all the tools to do so.
Hello, I am D-Miron. Today is August 7th, 2023. I started creating this documentary in September 2022. Some say it doesn't involve me. I think they are wrong. Let's make this very clear. I will never stand by, do nothing, while my family is being victimized by others. My last name is not Ackerman, Roth, or God forbid Monahan. I am a Miron. I have no skin in this deal, as LouAnn would say. I lived in, maintained, repaired, and improved this house for over 25 years. My 2 sons and my daughter grew up here. I helped take care of Peter Ackerman when he had cancer 3 separate times, and I was there for him daily for 5 years as he slowly passed away from dementia. In this documentary, you heard me asking Kathleen and Emma,
What was their long-term plan for Emma's well-being? But what is the plan, Emma, for your well-being and health?
I don't even think of it.
You don't even and they don't think of it either, I guess.
They probably do, but they haven't said anything to me.
Emma had no idea, and Kathleen told me I don't have the brain power to figure it out.
I think you have the brain power to figure that out.
Well, did I? I want you, the viewer, to answer that question. When I warned Kathleen that she was messing with the wrong person, she said, yes, we heard. She said it twice. When I mentioned to Ray Monahan that we had video cameras all around the outside of the house, he said, yes, we know. On September 11th, when Kathleen, Ray, and Timothy Monahan tried to force their way into our home, Timothy said several times that he didn't know anything. He was just the driver. Then he continuously shouted out false accusations. You saw how they covered the Simply Safe glass break sensor in Emma's kitchen with a paper towel, thinking it was some kind of recording device. When I asked them specific questions, no one would confirm or deny their actions or intentions. This is not how honest people act. Now let's talk about Peter Ackerman Sr. I was his son-in-law for 35 years when he passed away. To me, Peter was like a father I've never had. Just like Denise was Emma's daughter that she never had. Peter and Emma had many investments together and separately. As we just reviewed the assets and beneficiary documents earlier, we saw how Emma divided their accumulated wealth to the Ackerman and Monahan families in beneficiaries. This is what Peter wanted, and Emma wanted to abide by his wishes. We seen it in Emma's very detailed notes. Then Kathleen and LouAnn had other ideas. They weren't happy with just a fair share. They wanted it all, including the house. After I reviewed the financial documents, I would estimate the total worth, including the house, to be over $1 million in assets. These were just the documents LouAnn left behind on September 7th. There could be more investments. I don't know. I personally believe all documents written after the date of April 1st, 2022 should be reversed to the documents written prior to that date, minus any legal liabilities Kathleen and LouAnn may face proven in a court of law. Late last year, in 2022, Peter Ackerman Jr. petitioned the court for guardianship of Emma. In response, Kathleen and LouAnn submitted a cross petition full of disparaging lies about my wife Denise, knowingly providing false statements with ill will toward her. Denise was named 54 times in the 26-page cross petition, and it was obvious she was their target of disparagement. During the guardianship petition court case, Denise and I never had the chance to rebut the defamatory lies about us. One would think the courts would have requested us to come in and respond to the allegations. The Peter Ackerman petition was dropped on April 24, 2023. Let's talk about the September 7th incident. No matter what LouAnn says, Denise did not attack or jump Emma. We saw the video. So why did they feel it was necessary to remove Emma from the home? Was it because they were losing control of Emma? Was Emma's erratic behavior a direct result of Kathleen using non-therapeutic hypnosis techniques on her? Emma didn't look well. LouAnn is almost pathological with her mendacious comments on the phone call with Travis and in the cross petition. This documentary wasn't made for entertainment purposes. What I tried to do is show everyone the hell Kathleen Monahan and LouAnn Roth put us through. And you know what? It's not over yet. They are still a threat to our peace and everything we worked hard for.
I have about an hour more of edited video to show, but that would make this video way too long. Kathleen and LouAnn, I made a promise to you, and I hope I delivered. School of Social Welfare, Stony Brook University, is this a problem? The Adult Protection Services is too secretive and should be renamed the Affluent Protection Services. My work here is done for now. It is time for others to make it right. I want to thank you. I rest my case.
Confess, you feel the way I do. Confess, I think you want me to. There's something deep inside that you hide but you can't suppress. Just